Hi, it's Ric Stewart with the Blues Center interview. This is number 9 with Peter Case. Welcome.
Hey, Rick.
You leave the Plimsouls behind and you go get that first record deal with Geffen, and T-Bone Burnett produces the album. What do you recall about that era?
I was still employing a lot of the things I'd developed during the Plimsouls and the Nerves, but the whole idea was to do kind of a folk music record that had a groove. And so T-Bone, I enlisted him to help me produce. I went down to Texas, wrote the record. We started recording a few things down there, and then we came back up and we pulled some people in that he'd worked with, including Jerry Murata, who's a killer drum programmer and drummer, who had just worked with Peter Gabriel. And so he was a mad drum programmer. He would open it up, it was the Thirst Lin, and he would put the chips in all the wrong places, and the whole thing would sound like it was about to blow, you know.
When you started off your solo career, you had Old Blue Car. It's blues related, right?
Sure it is. I got a new Old Blue Car. I brought that to the Plimsouls, which is why the Plimsouls records like Shaky City and some of those records have that feel. The heavenly blue must be centuries old, but that steering wheel's made of solid gold. You don't even want to know how much it costs, whatever it is. Well, no matter where you drive it, you can't get lost. No matter where you drive it, you can't get lost. You know.
Roger McGuinn is on there somewhere?
Yeah, he's on Pair of Brown Eyes. Was at one of T-Bone Burnett's soirees one night. Elvis Costello comes in, plays the song, but his group he's just produced over in London, the Pogues, and he plays us the acoustic version of A Pair of Brown Eyes. And I just flipped out of it. I just thought it was such a beautiful song. T-Bone and I discussed it briefly, and then we went up to Elvis and said, I think you could get us permission to record that. And like what I said to T-Bone was, let's put together a band and we'll cut it like the way the Byrds did Mr. Tambourine Man. We'll do an electric version. We got Jim Keltner, Dyne Parks, and Roger McGuinn, and T-Bone. And we cut that record with those guys. So it was really, really exciting.
Jim Keltner was one of the best drummers. What was it like working with him?
Oh, he's fantastic, you know. There's people like Jim Keltner, but also like Greg Lease. Benmont's in this class too. When they come in and they play on your record, it's not like having a session player. It's like having somebody in the band that like really cares about what they do. They always put their whole selves into it. It's almost a spiritual thing. They're very powerful artists in their own right. I was down in Long Branch, New Jersey, with my son. He was on the road with me. He was supposed to be watching the clothes, but they got robbed down in New York, so we'll just buy some t-shirts over at the beach. He gives me a deal on these ones. They're like real stupid looking. It's like a pink seashell and it says Long Branch, New Jersey, you know. There's 2 left and they're in our sizes. You can walk down the street, it's like father and son matching pink seashell t-shirts, and the door of the club opens up and it's Bruce Springsteen. He's at the club looking at me and then looking down at the shirt. Come down to talk, and we talked for a while about a number of different things, and it was really fun. First thing he asked me was, are you getting the Plimsouls back together again? He's a really nice guy. He bought my kid a few underage beers while I played, you know. But the club owner had just gotten a used fog machine. Turned it on during my set, and like the club just filled up with like this really noxious fog. I was up there with my t-shirt and my fog and, singing Walk in the Woods at the end of the show. I took a walk in the woods and I never come back. I never come back. I never come back. And the whole club kind of vanished into the clouds. And then I come off the stage trying to find my way through the fog, and I come out there and Bruce Springsteen's standing there with his wife and my son. He goes, hey Pete, love the production on the show, man. I'm looking for a thing where the beat, feels refreshed all the time and it just keeps coming around.
Highway 62 was another one of yours. Did you relate it to Highway 61 Revisited?
Well, yeah, it was a little bit of a joke. Highway 61, is the big music highway. Highway 62 goes from Juarez to Niagara Falls, Ontario. I grew up 1 block off of it. But then as I researched it, you find out, Bobby Fuller's from El Paso, Buddy Holly and, Joe Ely and Butch and everybody are from Lubbock and Okemah, home of Woody. So Music Highway that, goes through the Everly Brothers' birthplace. Dan Celeste in Buffalo, that piano player that taught the band how to play rock and roll, he grew up a block off of it. It's like a connection east-west, north-south of the U.S. An unheralded highway.
Wrap on that.
All right.
And, let me grab this. Peter Case, thanks very much for coming out.